Yes, I want to tell you about the climate change. Yeah, the climate change uh, is like a situation whereby uh, there is no balance of the rainfall and then the drought or the dry spell. So when this pattern is not stable or is not balanced, we call it the climate change. But I wanted you to learn about resilience. Resilience is like a coping mechanism or adaptation mechanism. For example, yeah, if there is heavy rainfall but you survive locally in the village with the firewood that maybe you collect after every 2 to 3 days for you to cook food and eat. So how will you copy? How will you have a coping mechanism or adapt to this situation of too much rainfall that cannot afford you even a minute to collect firewood? But you must eat from home. You must cook food and eat, but the rainfall is too much. You cannot collect firewood, but you must have a coping mechanism or adapt to the situation. So the only way you can adapt to the situation is that you can use a energy saving stove. A energy saving stove that can use only one firewood in a day, and then you can cook all your food and eat instead of using a local traditional saving stove. I mean, a traditional stove whereby you put stones, the 3 stones that we used to know from the village, and then you put firewood here, firewood there, firewood there, so you can use like 6 firewood in a cooking. But the saving stove I mean is when you can have one stove and you can put only one firewood. So it means even though it rains for 2 weeks, you have a fire. You are using firewood very well. You are saving, using only one, not using 5 or 6 at a go. So mean you are able to copy, to have a coping mechanism, or we call it a resilient. Even though it rains, you are still able to survive. Even though it doesn't rain, you are still able to survive. That is what we call resilient. Resilient medeke kwa akiri kod bedabe, akiri ching bedabe, akiri ching rieng dong atek te balo chim dushu in politics kwa. Then another coping mechanism or adaptation to climate change, what they call agroforestry. So agroforestry obedo pito kori kedado pito yen ame medo value ikwadano. Those kind of trees, we call it agroforestry. You do with the crops, and then you also plant trees alongside in the same garden. So these crops are surviving. Eka yen ni tikere type mario degdang. Achiel yoluni Caleandra. Ario yoluni Luciana. So kere kwane yen ni gin dog medo ng'oluni nitrogen fixing. Tikere nitrogen fixing roots. But this nitrogen fixing root, they add the fertility to the soil and makes your crops grow better. Then the same nitrogen fixing trees, Tony Calandra, Kere Luciana, also konyi memedo ng'oluni climate emission. The climate emission obedo ni is more destroyed ka joto bungu yen ni bungu ko dushu. So inuo ni kare yen ni rikonyo memiyo kot bedo stable, kot bedo dang twecha bedo achiel, nina dela dek, eka chieng' na ring nina dela dek memiyo jodo chieng' kere kot bedo stable. Eto ka onego yo tiyo yen ko ducho destroying the forest, it means ni the balance between rainfall and sunshine will not be there. That is what we call the climate emission. The climate emission tikti bedi wiyamo ameromo nyige trillions alor duonga pelare. But kain destroying tree achiel, it destroyed many emission. Benguru to reduce emission. So ka reducing emission ko nunguni ka kotie chwe no cheng dok pe. Ka do cheng dia rieny kod dok pe pien no emission tiang ngono peti balance pien tongo yen obalo kod dushu. So in this regard, I want you to understand about the adaptation strategies and how you can make it balance. To make it balance, instead of destroying yen, you need to corri kiri yen na wajel. Eka yen ni dog loni, member nitrogen fixing trees ni. Me made of fertility do I soil let me you crop better. Konyi da dog pitu digi kiri dog digi da kiri dog chamungo no chamu yen acheli. So the importance of this tree, one of the adaptation strategy one agroforestry, obedo. The same agroforestry, okay, kai pero yen ni kere chema wachel, me nitrogen fixing, made of fertility of the soil, then me dog trees, me improving the climate emission, te pero in balance, then dog me dog yen metedo. You in kwaya instead of what the forest far. Udo kote chwe pero tedo. Yini wita ke langet pachu pian wichi pero hiempini kere jawe ni langet pachu kando. So that one we call it adaptation strategies. Another adaptation strategies obedo pitu yen tree plantings. You the stability of the climate emission chane do nyige trillions aloro nyo millions nyo billions nyo whatever pedametis made the bedo at the same number you got better balance ching that better balance there we call it the climate adaptation strategy me achiel ye bedo tree planting ariyo ye bedo agroforestry adek ye bedo teach energy saving stove. Then man here over garbage management. Garbage management over me you take cavera, this white cavera may jobolata eka bottles make over with a Pepsi gi, water gi, mineral water gi. Kawano collecting this garbage what recycling your wang kana bear and me opetim affecting the soil. Bien kain to mumo soil. And me breathing the soil better pay me vibration me a climate ambition emerging better stable me no me caught get change the balance so I want to balance environment wako kakere kavera kere chopa me one ngondo po bedo kere adaptation strategy a bear me one supporting what they call the climate action or the climate stability. So those are the few things I mean gulu. But you may make a bear, may making sure no. Yini bako jamani ana kopini pian. Yo uponyo kiri jabu do kuna penyu ni resilient bedongo. Resilient bro coping mechanism. Surviving within that situation. Surviving akiri kote achwe. Surviving akiri ching tiarien. Surviving akiri chempo check. Surviving akirichi korto balo chembo kutushu how what are this kirangoa me yiro surviving kere so in kirimo surviving kere na choka kupichani tame yendungo forest jo destroying ko yiro tikere saving stop kada forest jo destroying ko yiro tikere agroforestry ni me pirchi yen ni metedo yakina chemma me crops me yipiro nana ko e kape mano ken do I rompit la yen no ken do I porre la ngeti gi pajukan ame yuri modo yen me pira ne e kete binu no ite binu te do kere instead of surviving kere wild forest ame yu modo yendi yilum te bi te do kere kado yedo pe kodo yin surviving go is surviving yen